And welcome inside the Backstage Pass, almost a hump day Wednesday, which it'll be tomorrow there too as well. And through this, second week of May, first full week here, 2024 out there, KKTC True Country 99.9. And of course, their friends out there at HighTideCountry.net back in the saddle here too as well. And I tell you what, she still makes cowgirls with this latest single. I love it out there too. Show favorite, Karli June, back here on the program. Karli, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. It's great to be back.
Good to see you too, as always too. Well, let's dive into this latest single because a lot of good information to announce over the next few months, including leading up to the Country Music Association of Ontario Awards coming up June 2nd, which we'll get into here in a little bit too. But single has a great vibe, and I know you guys really put a lot of work into this one, right?
Yeah. I've loved this song since day one. It's my anthem, and every girl that grew up on a farm like me or who is just a country girl at heart, it's really an anthem to celebrate that. So we had to put lots of love into it for sure.
Let's talk about the writing of it too, and of course, who you got to work with on the production side to make this one come together too, because this one just, it feels like it was like you said, kind of one of those songs. It was kind of hidden in the weeds, but it's like, man, it's time for it to flourish now, right?
Yeah. So I wrote the song with Derek Rattan, who is a number one songwriter in country music, and now a good friend of mine. And he produced the track as well. We got some of the best players in all of Nashville to play on it, and that was just a great experience. Just so cool to have these amazing players just put their touch on the song, and that's when it really came to life. But I really loved the song even when we just wrote it acoustic, and I loved the lyric. I loved that it celebrated. I feel like there's a lot of guy songs about being from the country and being so proud of that, but I don't hear a lot of female songs about that. And I'm so proud of my roots and where I'm from and how that's made me into a strong woman. And so I just love the song so much.
No, it's a great message too as well. Like I said, we played it on KKTC the other day out there in Towson up in Colorado too. Had some great feedback there from the listeners too. Like Karli June, go look her up. I said KarliJune.com. That's the way to do it too out there too at the same time. I loved what you did in the arrangement last year too with one called Feel Like Home. And then actually had a feature, one of your good friends, Ryan Langdon, on that one too as well. I always tell myself we'll get you back on. We'll ask you about that one too as well. How did that one come together?
Yeah, so I wrote that song with a different writer. I wrote that with Gavin Slate, and it ended up going to top 30 in Canada on radio, which was my first big song on the charts, which was awesome. In Australia, I think we were number 11 or something on the charts with that song. So it really did a lot for me and my career. It's about, again, I write a lot of songs about my upbringing and where I'm from, just because it means so much, and it's really shaped me into who I am. And that's really become my brand as an artist. It's just writing songs for people that connect them to their roots and, the things that make them who they are. And that song is a celebration of all the feelings of your hometown and going back to that place where you grew up and just finding that in somebody else. All those feelings when you fall in love really should feel like going back there to your hometown.
I love it too. You'd be proud where you come from too. I know I am too at the same time, and that's one of those things where it's every gift of something there too, because every little town's got its own little hidden story, and that made me feel like you're gonna learn something about your hometown by listening to this particular track too at the same time. So I really enjoyed listening to that particular song. Hey, back to Still Makes Cowgirls. Let's talk about this one a little bit further because there's so many country songs that do different things out there and send different messages too. What I love about it, but for this one, Still Make Cowgirls, it's that women empowerment, that anthem, like you said too, at the same time, because it's exciting to see. There's so many good lyrics in it that are hooks, and I'm sure this had to be an easy write once that hook kind of came together, because this really is that female empowerment movement about cowgirls. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it was fairly easy to write. Derek and I wrote it in one day together. I already had the title and some of the chorus, and I brought it to him, and he loved the vibe of it. And yeah, it came together fairly easy. I mean, as easy as a song can, really. Didn't have to push too hard for it, which I think is always a sign of a great song. And yeah, I just really wanted to get that message across of, there are, even though we live in this modern world, there are still girls out there that are a little bit more old fashioned, that have more substance to them than surface. And so the song is so much more about being a girl with substance than it is even about being from the country. And I think that's what makes the song really special.
I love it too. Like I said, opens another top 10 or top 15 at Canadian country radio. Speaking of that too, I know coming up here, got some friends that are going to be participating and performers for that June 2nd coming up there for the Country Music Association of Ontario. Tell us all about that. You were added to the lineup too for the performances. Yeah.
Yes, I'm performing at the awards show, which is super fun. I did it for the first time last year, and it was such a blast. And I'm up for 4 awards this year. I'm up for Female Artist of the Year for the very first time. So that's super special and really just honored and looking forward to a fun weekend. It's always just fun to get together with your country music family.
That's one of the big dogs up there too at the same time. And I hope you do win and walk away. What would that mean to you, man? Female Vocalist of the Year, CMA of Ontario. For you to walk away with that, have you given it any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just so honored to be nominated, really. I haven't really thought so much about what that would be like, but it would be crazy. I probably wouldn't sleep for the rest of the night or maybe for the rest of the month or the year. I'd be
No
very
doubt too.
Yeah.
I love it too. Hey, 2024 is already off to a fast pace to start. We're in the second quarter of a brand new year. It feels like a brand new year. It's already flying by too. Give me some of their goals and aspirations. Obviously, you guys have this single out, doing very well right now since last week, and so picking up steam, picking up momentum, some things you're looking forward to for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we have lots of shows across Canada this summer, so I'm really excited for that, just to get to go out and play the songs for people and meet people and hang out and celebrate summer. I'm always really excited about that, and especially with the pandemic that's happened, it's so nice to be able to do that again. And so I'm very much looking forward to that. And we have a couple more songs I'm going to be releasing this year. So we have, I feel like the year is just going to fly by because we have lots more new music coming, and we're just going to keep the thing rolling.
You have to, no doubt about it. Keep that train moving too. At the same time, I wanted to ask you about what I love too. I feel like it's overdue a lot, and we may have talked about this before, but now it's even more important to talk about it too because of this women empowerment movement. You get a song like "Still Make Cowgirls," and then of course now you see ladies like kicking some tail, man, in country music right now, even in Nashville too, to come down there. But we're about to be at CMA Fest coming up here in just a few weeks. They're doing our show live from CMA Fest 2024, June 6th to 9th. But it has to be pretty cool for you, even being a Canadian country artist, to see Lainey Wilson, Ashley McBride, Hannah Ellis, Ashley Cook, and a whole list of Megan Maroney. Ladies like kicking some ass in Nashville country. Tell us about that. Give us your opinion.
I just have to say it's about darn time. I mean, it's specifically Lainey. I feel like I just connect with her. So I'm so proud to see another farmer's daughter, girl who's proud of her roots and just stays so true to that. I love that authenticity, and just to see her winning, doing that, just really is encouraging. Like, it's so hard as a female in the industry. It's hard for anybody in the industry, but really tough for a female. So these girls are blazing the trail, and I couldn't be more excited and more proud of them.
No doubt too. And it's just good to see them. Now every lady has their day. Every guy's had it too as well. But hey, for the ladies out there too, it's good to have that. And some great songs are being written now too, man. Just from all your emerging artists too, and just the songwriting in Nashville is as rich as I've ever seen it before. And I'm sure up there, like you said, with Derek Rattan too, at the same time, putting out some great tunes out there too. With hey, great minds think alike, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
when it comes down to it. We'll take a time out for that to CMA Fest 2024. We mentioned we'll be there June 6th to the 9th, all presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey and the CadenGordonShow.com. Today's best country mix out there too. June 6th to 9th, going backstage at the Grand Ole Opry Sunday, June 9th to take care of our friends, the 42nd annual Sunday Morning Country hosted by Brenda Lee. And we'll be interviewing a lot of the legends there too at the Grand Ole Opry. And, of course, June 7th, Friday night, too, right there from 6 to 10, CMAFest.com. All the details there for all the stages. There's 7 stages out there, too. And, of course, Fanfare X, which you can actually take part in. It's like a $10 thing to meet and greet your favorite artists there at Fanfare X inside the Music City Center. We'll be there doing lots of interviews there, having a lot of fun here from all of us here at the Backstage Pass. We'll take a time out, pay a tribute to those sponsors there, too, including our friend Jonathan Bond out there, too. Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, too, out there. Check him out for that uplifting, positive message. For the best in country Christian music, check him out at jonathanbond.com and click that link you see on the screen right there, too, if you're watching this live out there. And be taken to his latest YouTube channel. Proud sponsor of CMA Fest 2024. More with Karli June here on the Backstage Pass, hightidecountry.net, and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9. Back in a flash.
The bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
The Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here with Karli June on the program. Again, CMA Fest 2024, June 6th to 9th, presented by those sponsors. Appreciate you guys coming on board, making us another trip to Nashville, Tennessee. We did Country Radio Seminar back in late February, early March. And, of course, just building on that again, back to Music City, doing what we do best here on the show, interviewing the best and brightest artists, not just in Nashville, but all over the world out there, too, such as Karli June here on the Backstage Pass, the new single out there, too. Still Make Cowgirls is out there across all these streaming platforms, and check her out at Karli June, Karli June.com if you're listening there on the audio side too as well. You know, I got to ask you about, I thought it was one of the best EPs. Why don't we talked about this before that you've been on to when this came out just last year, or actually it was 2022 when it came together. Where you come from. Let's dive into this because there were a lot of great songs in there. Some you released as a single before they made the EP, and there's a lot of highlights to hit on for fans that may not have heard your collection of songs on that record.
Yeah, that song is a great introduction to so many different facets of what makes me who I am. And that's where the album title came from. Where you come from, all the things in life that build you into who you are. For me, that's, my faith, that's my hometown, that's falling down and getting back up and just trusting the journey of life. So if any of those things connect with you, I think there's a song for you on that record. And it's so special because it's my first little baby, my first EP. And I feel like I've come so far in my songwriting since even that, which came out in 2022. So it makes me really excited for everybody to hear everything else that is coming.
Yeah, I'm ready for that too, because I know there's more, you said more music coming up over these next few months. There was a song on there that I really just love that you did too. They're all great too. Church to Pray. Let's dive into that one a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of my favorites. I was actually just thinking about that song this morning because I'm going to play it in a songwriters round. That song was inspired by churches closing during the pandemic and not being able to go and worship in church. And that's such a big part of my life. It's something I love. But the whole hook of the song is you don't need a church to pray. God is wherever you are, whether that's in a bar on a Saturday night or out driving down a field in your truck. He's there, and you can talk with him, and he'll meet you there, which I think is such a beautiful thought, and that's what inspired the song.
Another one off there too that I love so much on the Where You Come From EP, which is, like you said, that's your little baby. I mean, that's your collection of songs right there too. Always be near and dear to your heart. The List I thought was very interesting. Kind of remind the audience a little bit, if they have not heard that, kind of the meaning behind that. Great song for storytelling too.
The List is another one of my favorites. It's a song that's about the journey of life and how you often plan out on paper all the things that you think are going to happen or when you want them to happen. I think girls especially do this, buy a house by 30, get married by 25, or at least you have that in your head. Mm-hmm. And it's about how sometimes life doesn't go that way and it goes a totally different way. But hopefully we can look back and say, I'm so glad that it went the way that it did and not how I planned it out, because I would have missed so many things along the way that did happen. And just about being present in your own journey and celebrating where you're at. And just, there's a message of hope in the song of, you're right where you're supposed to be.
Another good one off of there too. I mean, they're all great too. Just highlighting a bunch of them, but it's always important to set the tone for a record, and you did that with Home Team. I was just think that just really sets up the album and delivers the rest of it all the way down.
Yeah, Home Team is a celebration of all the people that are your number one people in your life that are going to cheer for you no matter what. They're the first people you call for a celebration or pick you back up when you've fallen down. So it's a play on the word home team. And that song is extra special to me because actually the year that my record came out, actually the week that the record came out, my mom passed away. And she was such a big part of my journey. And just coincidentally, I mean, the record was already set in stone and everything and planned to come out that week. But the first word in that song is mama. And we didn't plan that at all, but it just so happened. So that song means even more to me now.
I think it's, and you bring up a good point there too, how that is fate, is how it just happens. Only the man upstairs knows that too. And I'll tell you this too, kind of what I thought about that song, and it can bring you to tears a little bit too. Is just, I think you mentioned that story on the show with us before. I lost a family member this past fall unexpectedly, and it happened. And then on just a few weeks before the birthday of that family member, a child was born. We've got a new nephew. So it's like their fate coming up with some of that music. You mentioned Mama was the first word of that song, and it was just, everything was set and ready to go. And it was just, it brings you to tears. And that's what music does, man. It's so cathartic and it's peaceful. And I love it. It sends a message out there. It is therapy. Music is therapy, no doubt. I'm going to go back to, for the listeners out there too, especially in the New Mexico, Colorado markets out there too, where we're at, KKTC True Country 99.9. Some old school Karli June. Say Too Much. Let's dive into that one too if they've not heard that one.
So this is the only song I've ever released that I did not write. So this song was actually written by one of the members of All American Rejects, which I thought was pretty cool. So I kind of took it on as a challenge of turning a pop rock song into a country song, which I think turned out really well. And it opened up a lot of doors for me. It's about wearing your heart on your sleeve. I've always been a girl that wears my heart on my sleeve, and people can read me like a book. And the song is basically, I'm making light of that. And, did I say too much? You can tell how I'm feeling right now. And it's about falling for somebody and just letting that be known, which I think is a beautiful thing.
I love that when you're talking about where you come from too, about how special Home Team was to lead it off to. And there's a little sports pun right there, Home Team, and leading it off the record too. But looking at the end of it too, big for a small town. I thought that was another one that was just like, you know what? Cut right to the core. You can feel that.
Yeah. This is my TikTok song. This song blew up on TikTok. We had people from small towns all over the world commenting on this song. A hockey team ended up flying me across the country to go play at their hockey game because this song became their team's skate-on song for every game.
Yeah.
Because they're a small town hockey team, and I thought that was so cool. It's saying even though our town might be small, we go big, and everything's special and exciting when it happens in a small town.
No doubt. Love that one too. That was off the record there too. The EP there, Where You Come From Karli June out there as well. We'll take our final timeout, and coming up here too as well, CMA Fest 2024, June 6th tonight. Yes, the Backstage Pass invades Nashville, Tennessee for some of the best interviews out there, content you're not going to find anywhere else out there at hightidecountry.net and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9. A quick word from our sponsors. Final segment coming up here with Karli June on the program. Still Make Cowgirls, the latest single out there, and you can check her out at karlijune.com for more information too. During this break, do it right now. Coming back here on the show, hightidecountry.net and KKTC True Country 99.9 in Towson up into Colorado. Back in a flash. Stay tuned.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
The Kane and Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekatengordonshow.com. Again, that is thekatengordonshow.com.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And, of course, catch the show via the LMNOC streaming app in your app store out there tonight, 6 to 7 Mountain Time. Of course, out there at KKTC True Country, 99.9 in the car, and via that streaming app out there, too. Brand new shows every night, 7 days a week, 6 to 7 Mountain Time, 99.9 in the car out there, KKTC True Country, and, of course, out there, too, via the LMNOC streaming app. As soon as you put those letters in, voila, it's like magic. Comes up out there, too. Download the app, 6 stations, and pick KKTC out there. Back here with Karli June. Still Make Cowgirls, the latest single out there across all the platforms. Which you stream out there too. And I got to ask you, with this one too being so near and dear and close, with this one just coming out with this single, music video to follow?
Yeah, we shot a visual. It was more of a visualizer that ended up turning into a full music video. So it's coming out. I think it's coming out on Monday, actually.
Monday. All right, there you go. Coming back through May the 13th, after Mother's Day. What a good time to pick that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
It was fun. It was freezing cold the day that we filmed it.
But you got it done. That was the whole point about it. So you got it done. It comes out next week, May the 13th, too. You know, we talked about this women empowerment movement and how successful this is out there, too. Let me ask you this. Is other songs out there, maybe artists I didn't mention, whether it be male or female, that you've kind of had listened to, maybe a workout playlist or something like that? Who else are you kind of getting into right now from the Nashville side of things?
Big one is Ella Langley.
She's really good. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like she's super authentic. I love her sound, and I'm really, really digging female country artists that attract both male and female listeners. Less of that really girly country and more of that. There's a little bit of edge to it, and I really like that. And I think that's starting to come out more. I mean, it definitely comes out in Still Make Cowgirls. Ella was actually, I feel like her sound really influenced how we produced this song. So, yeah, she's a big influence to me.
Yeah, fantastic. Had her here on the show. Got to talk to her. Just a tremendous songwriter, too, and I love that, too. And I love the fact, too, you mentioned something earlier in the show. It caught my attention. You love to write your own material. Outside of the song that you mentioned there that we talked about that you did not write was the 2020 song that we mentioned there, too, at the same time. But I love the fact that writing your own material is so authentic and so true to who you are and kind of who you want to be as an artist. Just talk about how important that is, too, to pen your own material or at least have, like I said, some say in the writing, even if it is a co-write.
Yeah, absolutely. These are, as an artist, you get to choose your story and what you want to say. And I think sometimes people write a song and you think, wow, that's my story. I have to record that, which is awesome. And I think the best song wins. But if you can write it, that is really awesome. I think you'll always feel a little bit maybe more connected to it when you put it on paper yourself. So it causes you to really think about, what do I want to say as an artist? Who am I as an artist? And how do I want to make people feel when they listen to it?
It does. More authentic, too, like you said, and the storytelling just is even more immaculate, too, out there. You know, I got to throw a little plug out there, too, for my favorite team out there, at least one of them out there, Strut Entertainment, Jamie Crawford and Samantha and all the ladies over there. I wanted to ask you, too, because I do everything on this show, Karli. It's about the team behind me. I mean, it's one thing to just get on the air and do these shows, but talk to the fans out there, too, being an artist and how important the team is behind you, such as publicists, managers, you know, record label, even if you don't have one, independent artists, things like that. They really bring you to the surface, and you can't do it without an important team.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As an artist, your job is to create the music and, you know, do social media and everything that's part of it nowadays, too. But so much of the behind the scenes stuff that really takes your career and amplifies it and gets it to that next level is done by your team. So having a team that really believes in you, having a team that, you trust to put the work in, that's going to introduce you to people and, help you work your way up the radio charts, all of those things. Those are things I can't do on my own. And I feel really blessed to work with the people that I do. So I'm with you. Go Strat Entertainment. Love them.
Shout out to them. Thank you.
Team. Yeah.
Great team there with Jamie and Samantha, Strut, and everybody else out there too that makes Karli June shine out there too. All right, let's have a little fun with this. I love just rapid fire. It's always fun to wrap up the show with this. Shows you're getting into to binge watch now, series or anything out there that you're getting into. What are some of those?
I just finished Baby Reindeer.
I've not seen that. I've got to dive into that. Is that a Hulu, Netflix? What are we talking?
Netflix. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's a little dark, but it's kind of a thriller. I like thrillers. It was good.
All right, so that's the one to put on the watch list tonight with the wife to enjoy that one too. And I believe last time we talked, I'm not sure that did you recently get married in the last couple of years?
A few years ago, yes.
A few years ago. Okay, I remember that too as well. I remember you telling us. Yes. 2021. Okay, so right there, still got the 3-year mark, or probably close to it. Congratulations on that too. At the same time, yeah, we did talk about that on the show. It's been a year too, but we did talk about that. So congratulations on that too as well. All right, favorite food. What's your craving lately? I know for me, it's been like hamburgers. I don't know why cheeseburgers. Just weird where I buy them or I make them, but for me, it's like a cheeseburger craving over the past month or so. I don't know why.
Yeah. I would say, well, Cinco de Mayo was yesterday, so I would say tacos. I love. Tacos? I think the summer. I love tacos. Love tacos.
I love that. Love that. All right, I know we have 4th of July here too, of course, for the States. Canada has its own big day coming up there too. Any plans for the big day for Canada? Backyard barbecue, hanging with the family. What's going on there?
Yeah, going to a cottage with some family. Yeah, hang out by the lake and have a fire. That's a cowgirls kind of Canada day.
Yes, still make cowgirls. They love. There you go. Fits the song right there too as well. Yeah. Pick your favorite spot, cottage, Airbnb, wherever you want to go, and just get away too as well. Well, I tell you what, love the single. It's out there across all the streaming platforms. Still make cowgirls. Give her a follow out there, social media, KarliJune.com. Always one of our show favorites out there. And you know what? I know we're going to do this again. Every time you come back, we say that, and we end up doing it again. So that's a good thing out there across that too as well, to keeping us busy here on this platform. So thanks for being on, my friend, and looking forward to doing this again. Best of luck the rest of the year with all the new music, and we appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, Tim, for having me on.
You got it. One of our favorites, Karli June, out there too against CMA Fest 2024, June 6th to the 9th out there, and you'll have coverage out there at hightidecountry.net, our streaming station in Oklahoma, and of course out there, KKTC, True Country 99.9 in Taos, New Mexico, and up into Colorado. We'll see you guys back on Thursday. No shows tomorrow. Vocals got to take a break. We'll be back Thursday. Abigail, Virginia coming by, and of course Friday, Doug Gray of the Marshall Tucker Band. Before we fly out to Fort Worth coming up this weekend, it's the Off the Rails tour with our good friend Brantley Gilbert here on the show coming up too as well this weekend in Fort Worth, Texas, live from Billy Bob's. We'll be there too as well. See you guys Thursday back here on the show. Until then, take care. God bless.